There's a Times article, Times Magazine article by Jesse Ferguson, which points out quite eloquently something that I've been saying for, I guess since November 9th, the day after the November 8th presidential election, which is President-elect Donald Trump has the biggest non-mandate of any recent president, not by a little bit, but by a very, very long shot. Recall that Donald Trump won the electoral vote because of just under 60,000 votes across 3 states. Trump, although he is using the word major win, mandate, etc., Trump won with fewer electoral votes than Barack Obama in 2012, and actually way, way, way fewer electoral votes than Barack Obama in 2008. And recall that even President Obama's overwhelming electoral vote win in 2008 wasn't enough for them to get together the day after it was either the day after the election or the day after the inauguration of President Obama to his first term, to say we are going to obstruct by any means necessary. If obstruction made sense after that overwhelming win, then progressives absolutely need to get together to prevent the Donald Trump agenda, which we're increasingly learning about as a globalist, pro-oligarch agenda. They need to get together. And so in addition to Trump's meager electoral vote win. Remember that almost 3 million more people voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by a bigger margin than John F. Kennedy in his 1960 presidential win, by a bigger margin than Richard Nixon in his 1968 presidential win. And in addition to this, we have the CIA and the FBI agreeing at this point on the assessment that Russian hacking at the direction of Russian President Vladimir Putin intervened to help the election in favor of Donald Trump and against Hillary Clinton. Even if you don't believe that part, and I know that there are skeptics who don't necessarily agree with that assessment of the FBI and CIA right now, forget about that and consider the reality that Donald Trump, aside from Russian hacking, has the largest non-mandate we've seen in a long time. And also, even if you look at the congressional level, yes, Republicans control Congress, there's no doubt about it. Despite, though, what should be illegal gerrymandering in congressional districts, which makes it so difficult, as I've told you before, for Democrats to take control of the House, Democrats still manage to pick up 6 seats in the House. Trumpists will hear me talking about this, though, and they'll say, David, this is sour grapes. You guys lost. Make America great again. You're a cuck, etc., blah, blah, blah. This conversation isn't for the Trumpists. I know that they are there, but this conversation is for the sane and reasonable progressives in our audience. There is a basis here, a factual basis, for doing everything we can to stop Donald Trump from carrying out his harebrained ideas, and Republicans depend on progressives internalizing, oh, Trump crushed us, he slaughtered us, he won a mandate, and now we have no choice but to let the Republicans do whatever they want for 4 years or potentially for 8 years. That is only going to be the case if progressives allow it to be the case. Can't fall victim to that. Can't fall victim to what Republicans are trying to do. A majority of Americans rejected the agenda of the current Republican regime. Trump talks about a mandate. Trump's transition team member, Sean Spicer, is all over corporate media touting a mandate that does not exist. Republicans won the right to govern, but there is no mandate for their policies, and in fact, it's quite the opposite. Their platform was by and large rejected by voters across the country. We recognize this. I recognize this, and we recognize the urgency and the need for progressives to coordinate and organize, and that's why we're running a $60,000 crowd-funded fundraiser right now, which I'll talk about later, I've talked about before. Reminder though, davidpakman.com/donate is the place to learn more about that. I'm going to take a break. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Talk to me about what we see as the biggest non-mandate for a president in a very, very long time. On Twitter at @dpakman. Thanks for watching this video. Before you watch the next one, remember, we're raising money to expand the David Pakman Show Big League, as well as expand progressive activism. Go to davidpakman.com/donate. Donations of any size are much appreciated.